Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. We've got a lot to cover today. First off, let's dive into the plan of TV Man Titan. Some of you might be scratching your heads after watching part 4 of episode 77. Like, what exactly was Titan's plan? Just get smacked around and call it a day? Not quite. Sure, our Titan might come off a little clueless sometimes, but he's actually got a deeper strategy at work. Let's unpack what his true plan might really be. And let's not forget his quote from part 3 of episode 77, "You can't kill the dead." With everything we've now seen in part 4, there's more to unpack here, and I think we can build a theory that's going to have you hooked. Plus, we'll break down the preview photo you saw for this video, where it came from, and what it really means. Also, YouTuber named Super Cameraman shared some exclusive info with me about the full episode 77 that Dafuq Boom personally sent him. Don't worry, it's not that infamous finger you're all thinking about, but there's still a lot of juicy stuff there. Stick around to the end if you want the full scoop. At the end, I'll also share a theory about why Titan took Astro Juggernaut's charging gun and how it could play a major role in helping to defeat the Astro Toilets. So, sit back, hit that like button if you love deep dives into the Skibidi Toilet lore, and subscribe if you don't want to miss any crucial updates. All right, let's get into it. Starting off with Titan's line in part 3 of episode 77, "You can't kill the dead." Remember when Astro almost finished him off but got distracted, giving Titan a chance to counterattack? This line could mean a few things. We previously explored the theory that Titan, knowing his human origins, might be considering himself dead in a philosophical way. But maybe there's a simpler explanation. That line could hint that his body can operate on its own as long as the core remains intact. In other words, as long as the core survives, Titan has a level of invulnerability and perhaps even immortality. This theory is backed by what we saw in part 4 of episode 77. He lost all his screens, including his main one and the one on his belt, but his core kept him going. He's not just talking about his death in an emotional or philosophical sense, but pointing out a physical truth. His invincibility makes him a tough opponent to beat. Even a powerhouse like Astro Juggernaut took heavy damage from a battered TV Man Titan. The real twist is the energy that comes from his core, which isn't just about healing minor damage. Remember how his screen healed in part 3 of episode 77? That same energy can even heal allies. For instance, when TV Man Titan transferred some of his energy to the speaker, his speakers repaired themselves and were back in working order. Big shout out to one of my Russian-speaking followers for bringing up that theory. And guys, remember in my recent video where I talked in depth about Astro Duke and the whole Astro Toilet hierarchy? Well, I recently came across the actual image of that Duke Astro Juggernaut mentioned, and I have to say he looks pretty intimidating. Now I get why this Duke holds so much power among the Astro Toilets and even had significant authority over G-Man back in the day. I hope you're ready to see it. Here he is, the big bad of the Skibidi Toilet series. He's the mastermind behind all the evil deeds the Astro Toilets have done, from trying to take over Earth to nearly destroying the entire planet. But let's be real, it's a bit funny. For anyone unaware, YouTuber Super Cameraman shared this image as a joke, but it honestly does look kinda legit. If I'd seen that photo without context, I'd probably assume this was some kind of Astro Toilet bourgeois. Even if it's a little silly, it'd actually be hilarious if Mr. Boom did a parody leak of the Duke looking just like this. It would be original and honestly pretty hilarious. Alright, let's talk about a subtle but intriguing detail. Did you catch anything interesting in part 4 of episode 77? If you look closely, TV Man teleported with Astro Juggernaut's gun. Smart move, right? He managed to grab a powerful weapon from the Astro Toilets. Thanks to a theory submitted by one of my subscribers that I liked so much, I had to share it with you. As we know, this gun is incredibly strong, even if it's a bit slow. It can pierce through energy shields and knock back even a Titan with its blast. So, it's likely that once TV Man shows this weapon to the scientists, they might find a way to replicate it, maybe even for Titans or regular agents. Although, there's another possible outcome here. Most likely we'll see this weapon in the Speaker Armada's arsenal soon. They're probably working on adapting it right now, and it wouldn't be surprising if TV Man shares the technology with them. This hints that Speaker Titan might be the one wielding Astrotech weapons soon, given all the recent upgrades he's been receiving. It's worth noting that this Titan mainly fights from a distance, so adding a powerful weapon like this to his kit would be a major boost for the Alliance against the Astro Toilets. This also got me thinking that maybe this was part of TV Man Titan's plan all along. Remember, he mentioned early on that he wanted to lure out the strongest Astro Toilet fighters. This might mean his plan was to grab as much Astro Toilet tech as possible without risking the smaller agents. He wanted to avoid Cameraman casualties, but I think his plan didn't fully work out. He might have expected to take down a couple of powerful Astro Toilets and escape with their tech. But Juggernaut's arrival threw a wrench in his plans. At the start of the episode, we saw him trying to teleport away quickly, but unfortunately, he didn't make it in time. Still, his plan wasn't a total failure. There's a chance that in the full version of episode 77, we'll see details that explain Titan's true intentions. I believe that snatching the Astro Juggernaut's weapon was part of his plan from the start. At that moment, his focus was clearly on the gun. Knowing how he usually fights in the heat of the moment, this must have been a premeditated move. Now, speaking of Titans, they've taken serious damage in recent episodes, which has shaken the Alliance's strength. Titans are the main combat units in the series, and repairing them is crucial for keeping up defense. In the battle against Astro Toilets, the Alliance risks heavy losses without strong resistance. Meanwhile, the Skibidi, led by G-Man, keep wreaking havoc on the Astro Toilets. All hope right now is pinned on Speaker Titan, who's been steadily improving with new Astro tech. The recent damage to the Titans is intense, and their current state is captured perfectly by a zombie-style piece of art by designer Rosalinda. We loved the concept so much that we used it for this video preview, capturing both the bleakness and resilience of the Titans, who are determined not to give up. If you liked the concept, feel free to leave your comments and feedback. We're always glad to hear what you think. Huge thanks to Rosalinda for sharing such amazing artwork with the fandom. Her art is even featured in Boom's official merch store. Speaking of the store, on Halloween night, Dafuq posted a celebratory poster featuring TV Man Titan wielding the Astro Juggernaut's gun. The scene has a Halloween vibe, all in shades of orange with fire burning in the background. The Juggernaut's weapon blends seamlessly with the dark, spooky atmosphere. The rest of the poster doesn't have any hidden messages or Easter eggs, just some pumpkins, bats, and a proud TV Man Titan flaunting his stolen weapon. A Halloween greeting is printed at the top. And now, the exclusive you've been waiting for from Super Cameraman. After this video, definitely check out Super's channel. He shared this info with me so I could prepare this video in advance. Big thanks to him for that. Super Cameraman asked a few questions about the full episode 77 and season 25, including when the full version of episode 77 might release. Dafuq replied to the question about season 25, specifically about how many extra scenes it'll have. It seems there'll be several additional scenes, most likely happening between episodes, like in season 24. Personally, I think they'll show the squad from episode 75, like a bridge between episodes 75 and 76. It's also likely they'll show Astro Duchess, giving her more screen time. As for the full version of episode 77, how many extra scenes are planned? Dafuq mentioned one significant scene that will likely close the Alliance and Skibidi storyline. That's what season 25 is all about, after all. We might get to see the speaker base and their great army, which has been mentioned several times, or maybe we'll get something completely unexpected. But for now, we'll just have to wait, and there isn't much new. EBO 75 already told us a lot of this. The main question, how long until episode 77 releases? Mr. Boom said it should drop next week, but he didn't give an exact date. In my opinion, that's smart. Not setting an exact date helps avoid disappointing people. Many fans have been frustrated recently when Dafuq mentions one date, but the episode drops on another day. In his defense, working in an old program like SFM is challenging. So if he misses a release date, that's just part of the process. So, let's stay patient. He's not a robot. Catch my breakdown or my previous video if you haven't already. See you next time.